would allow chemicals in this pathway to quickly be regulated under the precursor control regulations. It is clear that we must strengthen our laws to disrupt the supply of illegal drugs both within Canada and around the world. This important step will give the government and law enforcement the ability to stay ahead of those who would profit from fentanyl's production and distribution. Further, Mr. Speaker, we're creating a new Canadian Drug Analysis Centre that will allow for more specialized analysis of synthetic drug samples. This centre will be able to go beyond simply identifying the components of a sample and instead look at markets to determine how and where the substances were manufactured. Knowing that transnational organized crime groups depend on illicit money to keep their operations.
The Honourable Secretary of State will have 3.5 minutes left after question period. Déclaration de députés, statements by members. The Honourable Member for Winnipeg Centre.
Mr. Speaker, after being elected as the Member of Parliament for Winnipeg Centre for the third time, I rise to express my sincere gratitude to my family, my campaign team, our Winnipeg Centre team, and all those who gave me their support this election. Regardless of whether you voted for me, I am committed to work to gain your trust and to do my best to be your voice in Ottawa. I will waste no time ensuring our community receives the attention it deserves. Today is World Environment Day, and yet our province is in a state of emergency due to the wildfires, which are becoming the new normal. We must act to address this climate emergency. I uplift all frontline workers, risking their lives, leaderships advocating on their behalf of their communities, community members taking evacuees into their homes, Indigenous rights holders, and climate leaders who refuse to sit back and let the planet burn, including one we are joined by today, Dr. David Suzuki.
Hear, hear.
The Honourable Member for Surrey Newton.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize the Newton.
The Honourable Member for Surrey Newton can take it from the top.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize the Newton Tennis Club, a remarkable volunteer-driven organization in my riding. Founded in 2019, the organization has grown to nearly 150 members and has built state-of-the-art facility through partnership with City of Surrey. The club runs a strong youth program and hosts the popular Surrey Open tournament. This past Sunday, I was proud to attend their annual food drive, an inspiring community event where members came together to support local food banks. The Newton Tennis Club continues to show true community spirit, athletic excellence, and a commitment to giving back. It is a great example of how sports can bring people together and make our communities stronger.
Right on.
Honourable Member for Tobique-Mactaquac.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to thank again the great people of Tobique-Mactaquac for the honour of serving them here in the People's House. I also want to express my deep gratitude to my wife, Crystal, our family, and the dedicated team of staff who do the important work every day so that we can be here. I couldn't do this without them. In the days ahead, we will continue to champion those who are too often overlooked and forgotten. The bucket carriers, the table waiters, the farmers, the builders, and the workers. These hard-working Canadians, past and present, form the foundation of our great country, and they will be the key to our nation's comeback. We as the opposition will offer a clear alternative vision to Canadians, a vision that encourages increased Canadian self-reliance, security, and prosperity for all, a vision that brings us together from every region, both urban and rural, to ensure that our beloved nation always remains the true north, strong and free. Mr. Speaker, though the waters we face are turbulent, I still believe that our best days are yet ahead. And as our beloved national anthem declares, may God continue to keep our land glorious.
The honourable Member for Scarborough North.
Mr. Speaker, 2 weekends ago, I was pleased to participate in the annual Doors Open Toronto event by visiting a storied institution in my riding of Scarborough North. For over 175 years, Knox United Church, in the heart of the former village of Agincourt, has stood as a beacon of faith, compassion, and community service. On June 25, 1848, Knox held its first worship service and communion in a wood-frame building attended by 40 congregants. In 1872, the church was rebuilt, resulting in its enduring brick structure that remains a prominent example of Gothic revival architecture. Today, Knox lives by its motto, diverse in culture, united in faith, opening its doors to share the stories and deep legacy within the brickwork of this iconic church. To the Church Council Chair and former MPP David Warren, my deepest gratitude and congratulations. Merci.
For Brantford, Brant, South Six Nations.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians are living in fear. Violent crime is up 50%, gang-related homicides 78%, and gun crime has skyrocketed 116%. These are not just numbers. They reflect shattered families, terrified communities, and lives forever changed. And the heartbreaking truth is this: many of these crimes are being committed by repeat violent offenders, individuals who should have never been out on streets in the first place. Why? Because of the Liberal government's so-called justice reforms, Bill C-5 and 75, which enshrined the principle of restraint into law and weakened and gutted our bail system. Police chiefs, premiers, frontline officers, and victim families are pleading for change. It's time to listen. And that starts by repealing Bill C-5 and 75 and replacing them with real reforms that put public safety first, because protecting our communities should never be a partisan issue. Canadians deserve better.
The Honourable Member for Ottawa-Vanier-Gloucester. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's with great humility that I rise today for my first statement of this 45th Parliament. I would sincerely like to thank the people of Ottawa-Vanier-Gloucester who've renewed their faith in me for a fourth mandate. None of this would have been possible without the incredible support of hundreds of volunteers, my campaign team, and my family. And welcome to the community of Blackburn Hamlet, which is now part of our riding.
I remain committed to advancing the issues that matter to our citizens. We're addressing affordability with a middle tax cut, and we're building one strong, fair, and united Canadian economy for everyone. From affordable housing to the revitalization of our downtown core, including the Byward Market, to protecting the public service, I am committed to strengthening the vibrancy of our neighborhoods. Thank you once again to the residents, my family, volunteers, and my team. It's a privilege to represent you in the House of Commons.
Well done. Well done. The Honourable Member for Richmond Hill South.
Mr. Speaker, after 10 years of this Liberal government, Canada is barely recognizable. We used to be a country where seniors could walk to the park in peace and where parents could let their kids walk to the school safely, but not anymore. Just yesterday, the York Regional Police executed 15 search warrants in Richmond Hill and neighboring communities against criminal organizations. 23 people arrested, over 300 charges laid, 32 legal firearms seized, and 700,000 doses of fentanyl, enough to kill a city, were found. In another case from the Toronto Police, 10 criminals were arrested after a mass shooting on March 7th. Multiple guns were seized. 200 criminal charges were laid, including 24 counts of murder. This is what happens when the Liberals govern with ideology instead of common sense. It's time to punish organized crime, stop the flow of deadly drugs across our borders, keep criminals behind bars, and bring home safety to our streets. Enough is enough. The Liberal government needs to stop handcuffing our police officers and finally start handcuffing the criminals and keep them in jail.
Hear, hear. Honourable Member for Brampton South.
I rise today to share my heartfelt congratulations to all the graduates of 2025 from Brampton South and across Canada. Graduation marks the completion of years of hard work and perseverance. Through their academic journey, each graduate has shown incredible growth as a young scholar and Canadian. To all the parents, teachers, and mentors, thank you for all your hard work to support our graduates in their path of dreams. As the 2025 graduate class embarks on a new chapter filled with possibilities, I would like to wish every graduate all the best in their future endeavors, and I look forward to celebrating their continued successes. Congratulations to Class 2025 and best wishes.
The Honourable Member for Montmorency-Charlevoix. Mr. Speaker, the price of homes is skyrocketing across Canada. If you look at Toronto in particular, the market has collapsed by 89% in recent months if you compare it with the last 10 years, and the market's been in crisis for 7 consecutive months. Imagine the extent to which it's problematic in Montmorency-Charlevoix. It's so hard to find homes, and businesses are unable to attract workers to come work in our region, so there's a major economic impact due to the lack of housing. We need to bring back common sense to our policies and do what the Conservative Party has proposed. We need to cut taxes, build the homes, and give the dream of home ownership back to Canadians so that all families can live in beautiful regions like Montmorency-Charlevoix. The Honourable Member for Repentigny. Mr. Speaker, today let us mark World Environment Day. The theme this year is ending plastic pollution. Every year, Canadians throw away more than 3 million tons of plastic waste. This waste weighs on our economy and it threatens people's health. It also threatens our wildlife, our rivers, our lakes, and our oceans. And more than 99% of plastic is made using fossil fuels. So it's the same people who are poisoning us with their oil and their gas who are also filling every corner of the planet, from the bottom of the oceans to our dinner plates, with plastic. In 2 months, countries from around the world will meet to adopt a worldwide treaty to get out of plastic. The best way to fix this problem is very simple. It's to produce less plastic. And there are alternatives that already exist. We shouldn't be filling the pockets of the oil and gas sector. Rather, we should be protecting our environment and leaving clean water for our children. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Vancouver Quadra.
I rose to ask a question, and in the interest of time, I was not able to introduce myself. I'm the proud member representing the people from Vancouver Quadra, and I am the very first member of the Musqueam First Nation to hold a seat in this House. I want to thank my family, I want to thank my volunteers, I want to thank those that helped me on my campaign, and especially my son Eli, my daughter Isla, my fiancée Marie, and my predecessor, the Honourable Joyce Murray, for all the work that she did in this House as well. Hear, hear. I want to make sure that I move forward. We've always welcomed people in Vancouver Quadra. We welcomed Captain Narvaez in the 1700s. We welcomed my grandfather Hong Tim Hing in the 1920s. And we continue to welcome people from around the world. And I'll continue to work for each and every one of them. I say Hai Chikasiam in my language, which means thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Hear, hear. The member for Abbotsford South Langley.
Canada had a balanced, effective immigration system. It worked for newcomers, Canadians, and our country. But after 10 years of the Liberal government, the system is in chaos. Liberals ignored warnings, cut corners on application vetting, opened doors for fraud and abuse in the temporary foreign worker, refugee, and international student programs. Now, over 1 million people are here with expired visas or expiring visas, and there is still no plan to address it. Canada now has the highest population growth in the G7, and the OECD confirms that the high immigration is straining our housing, our jobs, and our healthcare. Despite this, the Liberals issued 180,000 temporary foreign worker permits this year alone, a 10% increase from last quarter. This isn't sustainable. Canadians know it, the OECD and the Bank of Canada knows it. Why don't the Liberals?
Yes.
Member for Mississauga, Erin Mills.
Mr. Speaker, it's been 4 years since we lost the Afzal family, Madiha, Salman, Dalit, Yumna, in a horrific Islamophobic attack that left a 9-year-old orphaned and a community devastated. This was not just a hate crime, it was terrorism, driven by Islamophobia and targeted hate. More and more, we're experiencing violent hate in Canada that breaks hearts, steals lives, and impedes our collective identity. We need to do better. We remember the Afzal family, not just for how their lives ended, but for how they lived with love and with hope for a strong future. Tomorrow, as families gather to celebrate Eid al-Adha, we are reminded that they should have been here too, celebrating and surrounded by loved ones. We owe it to them and to everyone who has ever felt unsafe because of their identity to do better to protect Canadians against hate. Their lives mattered, their stories matter. We will remember, Mr. Speaker, and we will act. Thank you.
Member for Similkameen, South Okanagan, West Kootenay.
Mr. Speaker, while knocking on doors this past election, the number one thing I heard at the doors was the skyrocketing price of groceries. I heard from parents about the cost to feed their kids and to put food on the table if prices kept rising. They asked me, where will it stop? We know that food inflation at the grocery store since the start of this year is out of control. Beef up 34%, oranges up 26%, apples up 18%, and rice up 14%. Now, the Liberals are bringing in $500 billion in inflationary spending, increasing spending by 8% when they promised to cap it at 2%. Will the Liberals table a budget that reduces inflation and cuts taxes so Canadians can afford to feed their families?
The Honourable Member for Madawaska-Restigouche. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On May 31st, the community of Val d'Amour in Restigouche celebrated an exceptional volunteer, Mr. Donald Leblanc, whose commitment spans over 50 years through his contribution to local governance, his active participation on many boards of directors and community organizations, his commitment to the Forest Workers Co-op, and his involvement in sports, recreation, and many other areas of community life. Mr. Leblanc has left a lasting mark on his region. As member for Madawaska-Restigouche, I'm honoured to recognise Mr. Leblanc's remarkable career of service, which embodies the values of dedication, solidarity, and public service that are the strength of our communities.